Hi, everybody. My name is Dennis Smith, and I want to thank you for joining me doing these interviews here. And today I've got Matt Bernstein with me, who has been a Udemy instructor for quite a while now, and we'll talk to him about that. And again, this is another interview for Udemy Life, my new book, which is just interviews with Udemy instructors across the many different Udemy instructors, including myself and others. And then also a survey that I did with some interesting results. So, Matt, thanks for joining me today. Go ahead and let the people who are watching us know a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Dennis, for having me on. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Matt Bernstein, and I've been selling on eBay since 2006. And while I was at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst studying to become a communication major, I figured out a way to make it into a business, and I was earning over $24,000 a year in profit. And while studying communications, I was learning about this income inequality, even in the US. And I thought people might want to learn the skill that I had. And I decided to create video courses and lead them in a step-by-step way that they can start making a side income on eBay too. And as of today, I instruct over 47,000 students across 185 countries how to make money online.
That's cool. So, do you remember when you first came across Udemy?
Yeah, I was looking into how to teach people, and I had no idea what Udemy was, but I did know who Noah Kagan is, who runs AppSumo, and he was talking about how to validate your core subjects. And one of those ways was he was saying Udemy.
Wow, that's
So I was
awesome.
very, very lucky to step upon it when I did 2 years ago.
That's
Almost.
interesting because I know who you're talking about, and we've talked about that before. And I think I need to go back and take a look at some of that stuff. So maybe you could find that article and I can share that with others. That would be kind of cool. So, had you done any online courses at all before Udemy?
No, no.
Nothing.
Hadn't
Wow.
created one. I had never created any content in my life.
That's interesting. So, when did you launch your first course on Udemy?
In January of 2014. It took me a month to create my first course between having the script ready. I decided to write a script of each lecture and then I could just narrate it. And then I would do either screencasts or PowerPoints.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got sick with the stomach virus the same month that I was trying to do this. So during when I was sick, I was kind of slacking off and that's why it took me a month. Since then, it hasn't taken me a month, but
Mm-hmm.
when you start, you're kind of shy and you're kind of nervous whether your course is going to be as good quality. I know it took me a while because I was making a lot of mistakes when I was recording, and you just learn most of the things when you're actually doing it.
Yeah, I know that. Like, I mean, I started in July of 2014, and then I can't even remember like when you and I first started talking, but I know that you're able to crank those courses out right now. So, how many do you have now?
14 courses talking about selling on eBay, how I teach on Udemy, as well as some more technical stuff, how to design a WordPress blog, and some finance books, not books, but finance video courses,
Cool.
personal finance, how to invest in the stock market, and a productivity course.
Yeah. And speaking about books, I think that you've even transcribed some of those courses into some Kindle books, which is kind of cool. I know that that's not your main focus, but it's something that Udemy instructors can consider. I think that you did. Did you do Fiverr or something like that?
What do you mean 500?
No, Fiverr
Oh,
for the books, like because I know that you have.
so either some of my courses I scripted it out, so it was very easy to just compile that into a book.
I
And then
see.
the courses that I didn't, I used YouTube actually has an auto transcriber,
Wow.
and it takes a little effort to edit it, but they do a bulk of the work for you for free.
Oh, that's cool. I for some reason I had always thought that you had like sent that to somebody on Fiverr, a Fiverr gig, and it's probably my speaking there that you thought I said 500.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what is your most popular course that you have out of those 14?
My most popular course is my first course about eBay. eBay selling Drop shipping products for beginners is the new title. It wasn't the title. I forget what the title was before, but as time goes by, you adjust the course titles and you learn a few things along the way about how to title your courses correctly.
Hmm. Do you want to just maybe explain a little bit to those who are watching what drop shipping is on eBay?
Well, drop shipping is basically you get a business license and you decide upon a product to sell. So I was selling Topps baseball cards. So what I did was I called Topps directly and said, "Hi, I'm Matt Bernstein. I'm interested in selling some of your products. Like, who are a list of wholesalers you work with?" And them being a manufacturer, they want to sell as many products as they can. So they'd be more than happy to give you a list of wholesalers that they directly work with. So to work with these wholesalers, you need to set up an account, which requires a business license, a tax ID if you're in the United States, and other things. So you just call the wholesalers and say, "Hi, I'm Matt Bernstein." Introduce yourself, and you set up like, "I'm interested in wholesaling some of your products. How can I set up an account?" So basically, how the drop shipping comes in is now that you have access to all these products at wholesale prices, you can list whatever product you want that the wholesaler has in stock and are ready to ship. And then you list these products online. And then only after you make a sale, you can use your customer's money, place an order with the wholesaler, and then the wholesaler will ship their customer's order out to the customer for you. So you never need to carry an inventory or run the risks of paying for an inventory up front.
So that's some of the stuff that you teach in the course so that people can kind of take the model that you use and take it with that. I mean, because there's so many different products out there that you can possibly do, what you did on eBay. So that's what you're doing in your course is essentially teaching people how to do that to make money online, right?
Yes,
Yeah, cool.
exactly. The
Cool.
step-by-step guide. I just tell the story of exactly what I did and even the mistakes that I made along the way because one of the most powerful things is learning from other people's mistakes instead of making the mistake yourself.
Hmm. So, with all of these courses that you have, do you have like maybe some advice for either current Udemy instructors or what I call newbie instructors on some course creation tips?
Course creation tips for me, I just organize it in a way that works and you can streamline the process. So what I mean by that is for me what works out is you can either what is the overall goal that you want to accomplish in the course. So for my eBay course, for instance, I wanted them to take an easy step-by-step guide in order for them to make at least $2,000 a month on eBay. Step number two, what are the sections that you need to accomplish this goal? So then what are like the lectures that you need to have that to accomplish it? And then you go in after doing that and then you decide, hey, like maybe you don't need this lecture. Like what are the minimum amount of lectures that you need to accomplish your goal? And then I'd record the lectures, record the screencasts, edit it, and then publish it. So it's about coming up with a system that works for you in a very organized way to streamline the process and that you could batch all of these tasks together. So I record all my lectures in one day, the narrations. I record all those in one day, and then I'd edit all those lectures, the audio of it in one day too. So I'm batching these tasks together and being very productive about doing it.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, everybody kind of does their different thing, but that's, if you haven't seen like the Udemy instructor dashboard, basically it's just taking what Matt was talking about, sections and then lectures and quizzes and things like that, and uploading stuff and then dragging and dropping things into place and then maybe coming back later and adding stuff or deleting something if it's become obsolete. So that's kind of like what we both like about the platform. So now that you've got your courses out, of course, I mean, one of the things that we see in the Udemy studio on Facebook is you get these instructors who come in there and they know how to teach really well, but they're not familiar with marketing. What are some of the things that you did or some of the things that you're doing that help you market your course to get you to, and we've talked about this before, the revenue stream that you want to generate to have a comfortable living?
So whether you're a beginner or you're not, I would give away your stuff, because if you're a beginner, nobody knows who you are right now. And the best way for people to find out who you are is by giving away your free course. So to build that social proof of your course, getting more students in there, getting more reviews, building up your social proof to prove to other people who might look at your course and might want to buy it that, hey, 50 people have reviewed this course and they have good reviews. Like, I'm more likely to buy this. And even to this day, I give away a lot of courses to get a lot of those leads, because I have 14 courses that I can go in, and a month later, I can now market to those people who have watched my course and they would like me more because they know what I'm about and have seen my course. And I only have 47,000 students. There are 7 billion people in the world. I have no one in my courses. Like, I'm shooting for as many people that I can to help in this world, and as many leads as I can.
Yeah, and Udemy, I mean, only has between, at this point, 8 to 10 million. And while that might be a lot, I mean, thinking about the population of the United States where we're at compared to around the world, there's still a lot of huge potential for somebody even just getting into Udemy at this point, which is, I mean, really cool and mind-boggling to think like that, what the possibilities are for someone like you or myself or others. So that's pretty cool. I think that that was some great advice. How about some tools that you might use to stay productive during the day, during your workday?
During the workday, what I do when I wake up in the morning while I'm having tea now, I used to have coffee, I would think of 3 things that were on my mind the most. And I would decide, out of those 3, what would be the one most important thing that I can accomplish today? And then asking that question, if I completed that task, would I be happy with how I spent my day? So I think it's about what you do that matters, even if it's just one thing a day. And I think that that is how you stay most productive, avoiding the things you shouldn't be doing and actually doing the one most important thing that you should do each day.
Yeah, I think like speaking about that is like sometimes something like Facebook can have its positives, but also its negatives, because I was talking to Mark Isaacson earlier, and we were just talking about how you can just get sucked into something like Facebook, the politics or whatever, and so you really do. I like that system. I have that kind of stuff, but I like right here. You can't see it off to the side as a bulletin board, and I've got blab posts. I've got more ads on a website, record courses, write books, blog posts. I need to get into the habit of looking at those and doing the same thing. Like, which one is most important, and which one would I feel at the end of the day when I go to bed that I've accomplished something during the day. Otherwise, you just kind of feel scattered throughout the day. So I think that that's some great advice there. So, what advice, some other advice that you would give some of the other Udemy instructors that are out there?
Are we talking beginner or anybody?
Anybody out there. We'll talk about beginners in just a moment, but yeah, just anybody in general.
Create as many courses as you can about the things you want to teach, because I mean, everybody has a reason for teaching. I'm assuming most people's reasons is because they want to actually help people in the world, or and make a passive income, which is so creating more courses allows you to improve upon the quality of courses that you create in the future. So the more courses you create, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
Also, the more students that you can get in your that you could start teaching. So the reason why I have 14 courses and 47,000 students is because I have those many courses. And then with those courses, you're able to cross promote to everybody. So without cross promoting on Udemy, I would be nothing. And without giving away the free coupons to people, I would be nothing too. So just the power of having as many students as you can, having as many courses as you can, and then able to cross promote that and make money and give true value to your students. There's nothing better that I could tell you.
Yeah, it's like interesting because you said earlier, like, 50,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but you know where I live, like here in southern Idaho, that's the population of the town that I live in. So you have as many students as the population of the town I'm in. And I mean, it continues to grow. I was at 13, but I released my next course, and now I'm at 14. And I can see the results. I'm able to promote to more people and say, here's my next course, here's my next course, take it for this amount or whatever. And you see the results from that because people do business with those they know, like, and trust, and they already know me as an instructor, so they're more willing to open up their pocketbooks. But like you were saying, that you know that you have this, your goal or your first thing that you have in mind is your passion for teaching, and then the things like the income or whatever. We would be lying if we wouldn't say that that what we do also involves the money, because that allows us to pay the bills, the rent or whatever, and continue doing the stuff that we love. So that's cool. So hey, what about like somebody new, like that's watching this, and they are hearing about Udemy maybe the first time through this interview? What would you say to them?
I would say if you have something to teach, then definitely do it. I paid $100 or less for my microphone, like 90. You have a laptop, I'm sure already. If you're watching this, just get some editing software. It doesn't have to be Camtasia Studio 8, which is $150 after you can get a 50% off from Udemy, and just it's such a low upfront cost way to add value to people's lives and to get paid for it. And also what I want to go back and mention is I might have 14 courses right now, but you want to look in the long term. It's like investing in yourself and investing in your future. So if you keep making a course, let's say every 2 months, and you could do that for 15 years, I don't know what the math is, but you're going to have a lot of courses and you're going to have a lot of students and you're going to make a lot more money if you have a long-term view. It's like saving for your retirement. If you look and you can put in some work on the side, and by getting those extra students, by making those extra courses and putting in that extra effort, I've only been on this for 2 years and I've had 50,000 students. Imagine if I can get 25,000 students every year for 10 years, that I'd be up to 300,000 students. Yeah. And imagine cross-promoting all of my courses to 300,000 students. It's much more powerful than 50,000.
Yeah, and it could be even more than that, because I mean, some of the stuff that I'm doing, like I've got the other, like the websites and stuff like that, and working on this book, and I mean, there's so much potential, because you can take something right after this. We're going to go onto blab.im, and you can search for Dennis or Matt or Udemy, and we're going to talk more about Udemy. We were talking before this how you can turn that content into, or excuse me, you can turn Blab into content and audio podcasts, and you can do the same thing with your courses and stuff like that. And you can even take your course and you can use something like Blab and do like a live course or something like that for your students to build those relationships. So that's what I like about it. It's just, I mean, there's just so many cool things that you can do. I've had jobs before, and they're dead-end jobs, and I think that, like, when I came across Udemy, I thought, this is finally it. This is, like, what I enjoy doing, and this is going to have so much impact on my life and other lives out there. So, hey, so you talk about that you have 50,000 students. Are you able to share with those who are watching what kind of revenue that's generating for you?
It's generated over $51,000 in when I started in January of 2014. So less than 2 years from this standpoint. And this last 12 months, I've made 38,000 of those. So there's a learning curve. The most important thing you want to do is look at this from a long-term perspective. 2 years isn't anything. And what I've done, yes, it is worth it from up to 2 points, from up to 2 years, but it's going to be even more worth it if I can do 10, 20, or as many years as you can.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it truly worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry that you got, I think maybe a little lag or whatever. But so, what are some of the things that, like with that income, what's that allowed you to do?
I pay the bills here. After college, I moved into an apartment in Boston, Massachusetts that I could barely afford. I was paying $1,000 in rent. And 2 years later, now I'm living a little bit outside the city with my girlfriend, and Udemy allows me to pay the rent, my car payments, my
Mm-hmm.
groceries, everything. It's my only income making content and selling it either on Udemy or other platforms. That's the only way that I make money.
Yeah, that's cool.
I haven't
So,
really been able to save all that much, but at least it pays the bills right now.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to do that myself, like put a little bit into savings so I can get into your situation where I have my own place, my own apartment, and all of that. So I'm figuring things out, and I'm pretty sure that this fall that things will start happening. I know that there's like a slight downturn. We've talked about that before. I think that things are going to only go forward from here. They've got their big promotion Black Friday, so if you're listening to this before November, a lot of great deals are going to be found out there on Udemy during the Black Friday promotion. So, what about like, do you have, I don't know if we've talked about this, do you have any courses that you're working on that we'll see from you maybe within the next month that you can talk about?
No, I actually am not working on any courses because I feel like I could monetize my current courses more. So I want to get more
Mm-hmm.
students in there and more sales. And prepping for the Black Friday, I would rather get, because Udemy keeps track of how many new enrollments you have each month, how many recent reviews you have, how many minutes viewed, and all these statistics. So I want to make sure that I have as many students as I can in my courses before Black Friday. And hopefully my courses can catch even more fire when Udemy starts doing their Black Friday promotions. So that's what I'm focusing on instead of course creation right now.
Yeah, and we talk about like multiple courses and stuff like that. I have six now, and hopefully going to get maybe a seventh and um, eighth before the end of the year. Maybe closer to 10. I don't know. But I think that once, like some of the instructors out there who have 30 and 40 courses, I think we were talking about this on the blab the other day, that how do you manage like the relationships with students from 30 or 40 courses, and how do you keep those courses fresh? There's got to be a point that you get to where it might not be possible for you to manage that kind of stuff. So,
Well,
but
I think yeah,
yeah.
for content relevancy, 30 having 33 courses and all of those courses stay relevant, that would be very, very difficult to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a hard time with 14, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, I know. Even with six, like all of this stuff that I'm doing, I'm like, oh my gosh, my first course, I need to go back and at least comb through it and see if anything's outdated. I mean, if you can't update it, that's one thing. But if something's outdated, you probably want to make sure that you take that out of the course. Some instructors out there archive that stuff. I don't know. I'm like with stuff. I remove it. Do you archive it?
I do not archive it, I remove it.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
we've
think
got,
it's just a way for them to add minutes to the course.
yeah, true. Yeah. So we've got like just one last question and then we can wrap it up. So do you have like one last thought or piece of advice that you'd like to share? And then we'll talk about where people can find you online.
I'm not sure if I have one last piece of advice. I feel like we just talked about the concepts, like making sure you focus on doing the right things, giving away a lot of great information to get those leads because there are so many people in the world and so many people who want to know about your product. So it's your job to go out there and tell them about your product. Creating multiple courses so you can actually make money in the future because if you only have one course and I'm telling you to give it away, it's going to be more difficult for you to make money. So if you create more than one course, you can give it away and then cross promote it and then have a long-term view of this because the longer you do it, the more you'll become an expert. And it's just, if you want to make money on the side, I will have to admit, I have studied my whole life for this since 2006. And in those past 9 years, I have discovered that if you want to truly make money online, Udemy will allow you to do that the quickest that I've discovered. So you can go in on Udemy, it'll take you a little bit, but it'll probably be the quickest way that you can make money online. It's not necessarily actually quick, but it's the quickest because I don't believe in get rich quick schemes. So Udemy is just the way to go if you're watching it for the first time.
Awesome.
If you don't know what Udemy is.
I think that that's great advice because I don't believe in those get rich quick. I think that it takes effort. And I was telling Mark earlier that I still remember my senior saying in high school that slow but sure is an expression used to describe those who gain success through steady effort. So it takes steady effort to be successful, I think, in building a good sustainable, we talked about that on our last blab, sustainable passive income. You have to create this stuff that will continue to sustain itself during times where there might be a downturn or whatever. So I think that was some good advice. So Matt, how about
I actually have more advice too, actually, that I just
okay.
thought of.
While I was talking.
Yeah. So yeah, like so when you have all this content, you don't limit it to just Udemy. There are other great websites that are out there. Skillshare is great. Kindle, we were talking about, having your stuff on YouTube and listing your existing content on specific platforms that when you follow me, I'm sure, Dennis, you can link like a free course to one of my Udemy courses. We can just do that.
Well, we'll figure it out. I'm like,
All right. So,
this is kind of a work in progress type thing. You're number two as far as interviews go. So, or no, I've done 3 now. I've gotten 3 in, but yeah, definitely people are going to be able to find out where you're at. Just like one of the things that Mark did was just say, look for him on Udemy or whatever, and that goes out to his socials. So whatever is the best way for people to get in touch, and the book will have that information too. So
okay. Okay. So let me just finish my thought real quick.
oh yeah, I thought you were, so go ahead.
No. Because I was just gonna. Never mind. So yeah, using your content, you don't want to just limit it to Udemy. You want to list it everywhere that you can think of. And when you become successful, there are so many people out there who start their own platforms that want your content and want you to list your content on the courses. A good way for you to do that is instead of having to do all the work, it can become very tedious when you have 14 courses and new people want you to list your content on there. It takes me a few hours to list my content onto these different kinds of platforms. So what I do is I created a Google Drive folder and I organized all of my courses the exact same way it would go on to Udemy. So now every time a stranger emails me saying, hey, it would be great for you to list your content onto my website, I just give them the Google Drive and then they do all the work. So that if most of these things won't make you money, but the things that will make you money, it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to put in any work.
So they're putting it on their website or something like that?
Yeah, I just see like a lot of people like Udemy wannabes who want to start and take a little bit of Udemy's money, and they like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like Skillshare emailing you early on saying, hey, we'd love you to list your content onto our website. Like I don't know
okay, I see. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to turn into Skillshare and what's going to turn into Udemy and what's going to turn into SkillFeed.
Yeah, they want your courses on their website or whatever, which is good because I mean that helps build, like I always say, be everywhere because that helps build search engine optimization. Same thing with like coupons and stuff like that for your courses. The more places that you post your coupon, the more SEO juice pointing to your course landing page. So yeah, so website for people to find you at, or your Udemy profile.
So you could search for Matt Bernstein on Udemy and I should be the first one to come up. And if you want to look at my website, it's called skillhance.com. So skill, and then like you're enhancing your skills. So skillhance.
Cool. Awesome.
You can get that on spelling.
Awesome. All right. So You can find me online at dennisjsmith.com and look for the book sometime during the fall of 2015, which is where we're at right now, but I'm working on it as quickly as I can. So Matt, thanks for your time. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk with me today. So look forward to seeing more from you.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I'm really happy to be on. And any other thing that you want to do, I will be there and be talking on over the interwebs with you.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks.
All right, thanks. See you in 20.